Welcome, Internet Nomad. This is a special game tale for my second anniversary. I beat a game which I put in my top 10 without experiencing the whole thing. It's my game tale on Earthbound. This has been on the top of my backlog for years. I would start playing on each console, but I never beat it. Next year, my focus of videos will be my backlog. During the year of nostalgia, I committed myself to beating a sweet 12 games for next year. This is a taste of the year of backlog. This is going to be mostly spoiler-free game tale. I decided not to cover the entire story since it's long and complicated. The personality of this game is what I desire to talk about. My first experience with Earthbound was Super Smash Bros. Melee. At the time, I didn't know where NES was from. My family never had a Super Nintendo, and chances are we wouldn't buy Earthbound. I even thought NES might be a character from Nintendo Power. I didn't like playing as NES, since his recovery jump is hard to perform. My first impressions were that he looks like a generic kid character. I would play on the Onnit stage. I had no clue the significance of the location. It was one of my favorites to play, since you could have opponents hit by the cars. My earliest memories of Earthbound started with Game Theory. He talked about the game being one of his favorites. When the Wii U came out, I finally purchased Earthbound. The farthest I ever got in the game was the desert section before Fourside. This file is unique since I named every character after my friends who went to youth group. I had Danny, Skylar, and John be the names, with Tim being Ness. I would buy a new 2DS XL before the eShop ended. I would purchase every Zelda game on the platform and Earthbound. This time, I chose the canon characters of each name. I do the same for Zelda games too. I used to be Timmy, but now I prefer Link. I wouldn't beat Earthbound until this year. I would play it on my Switch through NSO. I had the idea to make this an anniversary special during the summer. After beating this game, I plan to play Earthbound Beginnings through Nintendo Switch Online service. Now I'm an annoying Mother fan who begs for Mother 3. I could finally say I beat the game. Fuzzy Pickles, as you take my picture. Now Earthbound is close to topping my top 10. I decided I will post the new top 10 video in December. This game has everything I liked. Music that I could listen to often, the RPG gameplay, and witty dialogue. I actually love turn-based RPGs. I love them because of the Pokemon games I grew up with. I prefer turn-based combat more than real-time. I don't mind random encounters. I prefer Earthbound system. It is awesome avoiding characters in a tactical way. I tried brute forcing my way with only Ness for certain parts of the game. I had Ness to be level 99 before the 7th Sanctuary. I leveled up my team to around 80. I was on the verge of leveling them up to 99 too. This is the level cap, but I got bored grinding. I liked how enemies before bosses really challenged me. This might mitigate the difficulty curve. The enemies are really creative and fun. My favorites are the hippies, since that piece of music is my favorite. I liked how the enemies become more and more unhinged as you progress. At first you are battling crows, dogs, and snakes. Then you face these major psychic psychos and ego orbs. The story is amazing. The cast of characters really make this game awesome. The Runaway 5 are my favorite recurring characters. I won't tell you their gimmick, but it's hilarious. Another funny part of the game was a group of bosses who claimed to be the third best. This made me do a double take. I thought I accidentally fought the same one twice. After the third, I got the joke. I overstocked items to face the final boss. It was a wild and crazy ride. I rewatched the game theory that introduced the game to me. It was crazy and nostalgic. It reminded me how much Matt had developed as a YouTuber. Check out those earlier game theories. The glow up is insane. One of my earliest ideas for a novel was inspired by Earthbound. I called it Lifebound. It was a story about a kid who loses his favorite video game and travels around his hometown tracking it down. The story of Ness is probably going to stick with me for years to come. I will remember the excitement of finishing that game. Originally, I had the idea to make it a Game in Memories video. Game in Memories is a type of video where I discuss a game from childhood after watching a long play. I told myself, why rob myself of that experience of playing through Earthbound when I had a viable way to play? The feeling of finally beating the game was euphoric. I was just feeling wonderful all day and the next. Remembering the story and the 4 playable characters just brings joy to my heart. This game reminded me how much I love RPGs. Last year I discussed narrative games for my anniversary special. This year I'm talking about my favorite RPG. The story of Ness, Paula, Jeff, and Poe will be one I remember for life. I love how the story builds throughout the game. There are points where a character offers tea and a scroll wall appears discussing the story up until then. I liked how calling your dad saved the game. It was so nice hearing his small talk repeatedly. It never changes, but the idea that he's looking out for you is great. He reminds you to turn off the console instead of hitting reset. He always asks if you need a break and compares you to your mom if you continue. Most of the game, I carried so many items, which I should have put in storage. It wasn't until late in the game before the final boss, I put some key items back into my storage. One phrase to describe this game is the ultimate coming-of-age story. I know many of the dark theories about this game, but I prefer to think of the game as lighthearted, while people debate the final boss represents. I remember reading it was inspired by a designer going into the wrong movie theater as a kid and seeing something scary. I like that idea more than the darker ones. This game is about growing up. Some kids are pushed into adult situations, which frequently happens in the game. Now I have a deeper appreciation for Ness. I'm going to main him in Smash Bros. When I need my Earthbound fix again, I'm going to play the first Mother, but now I'm thinking of playing Mario RPG next. So now this will be my small spoiler section. If you don't care, listen to my top 3 moments from the game. So if you don't want to hear them, go away now. My favorite town is Happy Happy Village. This cult of people wearing blue was a pretty cool concept. The best part of Earthbound is the silly and funny dialogue. That's abundant in this area. I love the person who says green instead of blue. My second favorite part is the Runaway 5, always signing deals and being in debt every concert hall they perform at. Finding the diamond and the stack of money to bail them out was hilarious. My third favorite part is the fight with Ness's Nightmare. I love trying to beat it by letting it use up its PP. After that it's an easy fight. I love the flymen who help you through that section. And those are my top 3 moments. Farewell, Internet Nomad.